Hello, this is Plum Silver. I got this draw here. It's kind of a shape like a cross. I'll explain why I'm doing this. Grand tableaus are nice when you want to get the essence or of a story and of what's happening in the present. This draw here is about a bear, and there's also a fairy. And my story here is going to show something that is happening in the present moment, and what could be also the outcome. And I will show you these cards here. The reason I picked the fairy cards that I think are proper for this sort of reading that is going to be concentrated on something of the nature of the place where I think a bear would live. It would be in nature, and there is actually a natural need for the bear to want to go back to its natural state. And this bear here, he's got a little fairy, a fairy that's moving towards him. There's his sunshine, his hope, his success, and that little fairy is just a dreamer, and that's really his goal, his fate that he really wants to be able to have coming to him. The bear is actually a very friendly, kind of a gambling, just a happy go person who's just, is always sort of like enjoy, happy person. I would say also the bear, because you take those two cards here, has a little bit of innocence, a sense of wonderment, innocence in him. He's got a little bit of I would say, not an immaturity in the sense of being immature, but there's that innocence in the bear, that he's caught into this world right now, and he's looking at what really will give him joy. 31, 13, see the mirror? He's trapped. He's trapped in something that is a fate to him. There's a fate. There's something coming to him, and there's also something that he's going towards with a commitment he's making. He's making some big commitment, and the reason I believe he's a bit, it's probably very upsetting for him, because he's got the Master of Chalice. I picked these three cards for the bear. The Master of Chalice, and you see he's looking at what's coming. He's looking at the horizon, and that causes him a little bit of fear at the same time, and he's quite careful about what he will share about his emotion. A King of Cup he knows how to master his emotion, but he might be holding on or trying to contain them, because he also has fear of sharing his emotion. He kind of holds him in a little bit. And I'll explain why these are the three cards: the higher self and the Nine of Chalice. The Nine of Chalice is a good card. There's like good happiness that coming his way, obviously, because that's what he's looking. He's focusing on that. He needs to focus on that because he's making a big commitment, and that commitment will give him a little bit of anxiety. You see, there's anxiety here, but he's stuck, he's stuck. The bear is stuck in a situation here. The news will be brought to him. New news will be brought to him about his situation. Something's moving across the mountain to come and see him also, and it will create this new family, this new situation that will be at the root of things. And this is a new rebirth here. There's the coffin here, a new rebirth of something, a situation. But there's a commitment, and the commitment could cause him a little bit of, like, he feels like it's taking away a bit the freedom that he has. So that might be what he fears a little bit. This commitment is given to him. This commitment might give him a little bit of trouble at first. We don't know if this is trouble but this is the trouble he's facing right now. The commitment could be a lot to do with other things, because where he is stuck. And there's two things happening to this bear. There's something coming across the mountain to bring sunshine and happiness, There's something that traveled to come to it, but also his situation is he's actually in an obstacle, in a situation where there's an obstacle that is causing him anxiety and trouble, and then now he has to make a deal with these fish here. These fish is like official situation that fishers could be a group of people that are sort of pushing him to make a deal, a gift. They're saying you're going to need to give into a deal to get out of trouble, maybe, so we can end this situation that he feels stuck. So he's in a situation right now. This bear's in a situation he needs to face this. He's facing this way. He knows what's coming, but he's not totally. There's a bit of naivete about him, about what's happening, this deal. There's an innocence here. Now you see the fear that he has of committing for reasons, because there's a lot coming his way. The higher self is the center here. The higher self is actually where in the subconscious, or could be his higher self, his purpose, that there's something that is making him do this decision, or will have to, who's in control of him. He's like, what we're seeing an innocence, but there's something behind. And also higher self could also be a group of that are into the occult, that are the subconscious could be taken by a group, whatever attachment you have, your own belief, your whatever. I would call the higher self is not to always just say, well, it's pure, but there's a purity here, because there's this innocent. He's trusting this, but he fears it also. But the outcome is good. The 9 of Chalice means, he will be celebrating. He has a purpose to go towards this, the bear here. There was trouble. I mean, there's going to be trials and challenges. Basically, that's what it is. That commitment will, will eat away a little bit of his freedom, obviously, because there's two things coming at him, but he has no choice to take it. It's given to him. He has no choice, because he's stuck here. He's stuck because he made a commitment, almost a contract with some higher self. Whatever higher self that is, we don't know. We just know that it's something above him. What we're seeing is more of a naiveness side of, like, just a good, jolly bear, friendly to everybody. But at the same time, there's some higher purpose going on here, and we don't know who it is, if it's him, or, I believe everybody have some kind of contracts that they make with themselves, or whatever. So I could see his future is not completely out of trouble, but it has a good outcome, because he basically he gambled all his emotions. He gambled everything. He exposed everything, and the light is shining on it. And it's a fate. It's a fate, because there's a lot of clubs in this draw here. I'm seeing this obstacle was a fate. You see, the clubs is fate, and then this commitment is a fate also, because that's what a commitment is. And this fate here, see, in the line of the bear, there's a fate. So I just wanted to point out this story for the bear. Also, I picked a card for him, and this one's called self-esteem, ownership, and survival skill, the individual value. That's why I think that him having to commit, the bear here, to this little fairy here that is protecting him. She has a protective kind of energy about this fairy, who came from a far distance in this little ship, and as a dreamer to want to be part of his other reflection together, and he's in a stage of survival skills right now. He needs his survival skills. He's in a stage where anything he's making as a decision, whatever decision he will make, It's all about survival skill. And I also picked this card from the Magical Drum, and this one is the number 2 cards. I like the order that I'm taking these cards so far in my reading. The reindeer and the fence. The reindeer and the fence is it's being connected to nature, but that reindeer, when times it lives in a season, you need to feed the reindeer, and when it's about time to release it in nature for freedom, that there's a time that you have to be ready for that. You have to accept that fate, because the things have to flow. Things have to flow here. See, with the fish, things have to flow. He needs to commit to something. Yeah, that might also be a commitment that will kind of restrict and eat away a little bit of his freedom. But that commitment, he has no choice to take it, even if it's troubling, just because he needs to go and find his survival skills through this. And we don't know what the future is for the bear here, but so far that's the energy I see. There's definitely between these 2 cards something that is troubling. There's an obstacle that is keeping him stuck in a box, basically, and restricted. He can't move, but that's the fate that he has to go through and be committed to this new contract that is going to be coming. This is going to be a new contract, or it could be a couple contract. Maybe there's many contracts, because you see there's the mice and the ring together, so there's many contracts that will suddenly restrict his flow of freedom. This bear was free, when suddenly, whoop, he's got something attached to him suddenly, but it's a very innocent, young, new little fairy that is has good meaning. 13, a trickster too, because but his trickster could be of a good reason to have this new fairy arriving in his life, because it could help him to go towards where there is a fate that could be his happiness here. So I think I will just end it here. And the bear here is a very friendly bear, jolly, and he just loves to feels lucky in life. He especially feels lucky because he knows something beautiful is coming towards him, and it's got the pure heart of a child, and he's going to commit, and that will be, he has to give into it, even, and trust it, and faith. It doesn't mean it's bad, but it could be troubling, all depending how it's handled. But not from these cards. I see it's actually good, because this is his higher self that is saying you have to do this, or whatever commitment he's making. I don't know if there's other ones. I always believe there's more than one commitment. That's the essence. There's a commitment. Now the commitment to just one thing, I don't believe. I usually think that it's a lot there. So I'm gonna end it here. And whoops, sorry about moving the camera. I'm gonna climb up and turn it off. Hopefully you enjoyed this. This is for the bear. Okay, bye.